A strong mind is never born overnight. It's carved one event at a time. Some moments give shape, others leave scars, but together they form the architecture of a life and the personality behind its decisions. Abraham Lincoln wasn't just the 16th president of the United States. He was a boy who lost his mother, a man who battled depression, and a leader who bore the weight of a fractured nation. This is the context timeline of Abraham Lincoln. In 1809, Abraham Lincoln is born in a one-room log cabin in Kentucky. Frontier life is brutal. His family is poor, his education informal and scarce. But even in this hardship, Lincoln absorbs his first lessons: hard work, humility, and the harsh cost of survival. In 1818, when Abe is just 9 years old, his mother Nancy dies of milk sickness. She was his emotional anchor, and her sudden loss marks his first encounter with grief. It leaves a quiet hole that will echo for the rest of his life. By 1831, now in his early 20s, Lincoln leaves home for good. He moves to New Salem, Illinois, working as a clerk and reading voraciously. He earns a reputation for honesty, even-handedness, and deep introspection. They call him Honest Abe, not as a slogan, but because he means it. This is the block where empathy begins to grow. In 1832, Lincoln runs for state legislature and loses. But instead of quitting, he studies law on his own. By 1834, he wins a seat. This is where he learns how politics works not from power, but from the bottom. In the 1830s and 40s, Lincoln falls in love with Anne Rutledge. She dies suddenly in 1835. He falls into a deep depression, the first of many episodes that will shadow his life. But through it, he becomes reflective, slow to anger, and deeply compassionate toward human suffering. He understands pain, and that gives him moral weight. In 1842, Lincoln marries Mary Todd. Their relationship is fiery and uneven. He is reserved. She is emotional, ambitious, volatile. But through this stormy marriage, Lincoln learns patience and how to carry the chaos of others without being consumed by it. By 1854, slavery is expanding. Lincoln, now an experienced lawyer and former congressman, is pulled back into politics. He doesn't start as an abolitionist, but he's morally troubled. He believes slavery is wrong, yet is careful in how he says it. Here begins his inner war between principle and political survival. In 1858, Lincoln debates Stephen Douglas for a Senate seat. He loses the election, but his words echo across the country. A house divided against itself cannot stand. He's gaining moral clarity and national attention. His losses are becoming his loudest messages. In 1860, Lincoln is elected president. The nation is split. Southern states begin seceding. And suddenly, the tall, soft-spoken man from Illinois is at the center of a national collapse. By 1861, the Civil War begins. Lincoln is hated in the South, doubted in the North, and attacked by his own cabinet. But he holds steady, guided by a deep emotional endurance honed through years of private suffering. He does not flinch, he waits, and he evolves. In 1862, his young son Willie dies in the White House. Lincoln is crushed. Mary Todd descends into grief and instability. But Lincoln doesn't collapse. He visits hospitals, talks with soldiers, and starts to understand the war not as strategy, but as sacrifice. The war is no longer political, it's personal. In 1863, he signs the Emancipation Proclamation. It's not just a law, it's a transformation. Lincoln is no longer trying to save the Union as it was, but as it must become. His moral line is drawn. By 1865, the Civil War is ending. Lincoln wins re-election. His vision for healing is rooted not in revenge, but in mercy. With malice toward none, with charity for all. He speaks those words not as poetry, but as the product of a lifetime spent navigating pain, rejection, and restraint. On April 14, 1865, just days after the war ends, Lincoln is shot at Ford's Theater. He dies the next morning. He never sees the country rebuilt, but he becomes its eternal conscience. Abraham Lincoln was not born a liberator. He was shaped into one through death, defeat, doubt, and quiet resolve. He was melancholic, brilliant, cautious, and courageous. And every event, every loss, was a block in the foundation of a man who chose unity over vengeance and principle over power.
The algorithm is pushing us into a rat race, but with wisdom, we seek an escape. Here at House of Wisdom, we delve into topics that challenge conventional narratives. That's why our channel is dedicated to uncovering the true context of history, piecing together fragments to reveal a more accurate and inclusive story. Understanding history is crucial. It shapes our identity, informs our decisions, and helps us learn from past mistakes. By uncovering the true stories of our ancestors, we can better appreciate the diverse tapestry of human experience and build a more informed and empathetic world. Our goal is to bring you well-researched and engaging content that sheds light on the true stories. But we can't do it alone. We need your support. Please subscribe, like, and share. While most of our timeline is trying to brain drain, let's focus on brain gain.